Alright, as far as things go, I'm not a big fan of Amumu, so I won't be talking too kindly of this thing. Anyhow, if you're a jungler, you gotta learn Amumu. He's not that hard, and he's really goddamn strong. As far as things go, I think he's probably one of the best, if not the best, jungle picks in the game. Simply because of what he does for your team, and generally being the only really viable tank at this time, quote unquote right there. You know, since the rest are kind of situational and whatnot, he's kind of like, grab a Amumu, whatever team you make can be built around it. Anyways, I was gonna make a team battle video for Amumu, but the low replay acted all funky thanks to the UI changes and all that stuff, so I have to settle with this. Though it will have what you wanted to see, and you'll still be able to see my general build and whatnot. I use, and I'll say it again at the end of the video, my masteries are 1, 13, 16, modified since the last time I told people. Taking obviously the smite, making all the way to the movement speed on the utility tree, and just getting the basic defensive masteries on the defense tree. You don't really need anything in there if you get a good leash anyways. My runes are magic pen red, armor yellow, magic resistance per level blues, because I'm a tank, and movement speed quince, because Amumu is slow and I gotta get my ass around everywhere. Anyways, when it comes to being a Amumu, it's very weird. It's like you're very fast as a jungler, but you have no real sustain. You have some availability with your builds, but not too many. You can invade, but you can't really fight. And when you fight, you do a lot of damage, but you can't really seal the deal. When you gank, your ganks are like very hard to do, and it's like easy to fail. But when you actually get them, they're very strong. Especially when you have your ultimate. It's like he's a lot of when you do something, it either explodes in your face, or it goes very well. Kind of like Amumu's character himself, you know, he either gets late or he doesn't. Point is, anyways, Amumu, strong jungler, very quirky. Nah, I don't really like him much because after the jungle or anything, kind of doesn't do anything. Like, you pop your ultimate, you stun a person, and you kind of sit there. There's not really a lot of action you get to do. You press a button over and over, and it's not very action oriented. I mean, he's very useful, it's just kind of boring. No wonder no one really likes him. Anyways, one of the things you're gonna notice is this is a ranked game. The footage I'm using from. It's a ranked game. We got a DC somewhere in the middle of it, and one of my teammates at the very beginning said, "Be right back. I gotta go take a piss," and that immediately made me go, "Ah, shit! I ain't gonna get any good leash or protection or anything." So I was on edge already. I started off with cloth armor, 5 health potions for that very reason. Well, not only for that reason, mostly because I don't trust people in solo queue, and before I got a chance to do my blue, the enemy team invades me, and I will have to, make do with that. Especially since my bottom lane isn't a support carry or any of that stuff. I got a lot of things to do in this game. Alright, so me and my team are guarding my blue golem. It's almost gonna spawn, but the enemy team just, boom, surprises us. I get hit by a Caitlyn trap, and I'm lucky to be alive. Not really, I wasn't really hard, I had flash. And I go to my wraiths, and my Pantheon unleashes it for me. I mean, the intent was good of him, but ultimately I didn't need it, and it actually did worse for me. I easily just wipe out the camps. If I couldn't start at blue, I could just do a sustained path, superior pathing, go start off at a small camp. Anyways, I kill the small creeps, and I'm heading to my golem. However, Pantheon is coming for a gank at middle, and this is something a lot of people don't realize. Amumu has a stun available, a long ass range stun at level 2. Like, you could gank right off getting blue or whenever the hell you have it. So even though this gank is pretty botched and could have gone very, very badly, like, I'm not going to leave empty-handed, so I go in for the kill. I mean, I need to recover from whatever that happened, and this wasting of my time is pretty significant. So we get a kill, and I try to go, get more aggressive, and Pantheon does too, that ends up getting him killed. Regardless of the point, it's a positive thing for me. I got to leave some experience, but I still haven't gotten my blue yet. A lot of people say Amumu can't jungle without blue. He can jungle, just not as badass and pro as he normally does. I mean, I'm gonna get it now, at least. Like, with my blue, I'll be able to invade, gank better, whatever the case. I finally get it. Well, let's see. I am not gonna go on and tell you what Amumu does in team fights, because I'm pretty sure anybody who can press a button knows what that does. But I'm gonna show you how at least you should go about ganking. And a lot of people really suck at ganking as ganking in general, but they seem to screw up Amumu quite a lot. Anyways, what you saw in those previous clips is I can still jungle without blue. You just have to know how to recover. Recovering either means, you take a more sustained path and, maneuver yourself better, or you go leech a bit from the lane by trying to gank and leech on the process, or actually succeeding in a gank. You gotta, take a more active role. If they counter you, you counter their team in some manner or some whatever. Anyways, a little rundown of what you're gonna see in the next few clips. I'm gonna show some of the ganks I do pull off as Amumu, or try to pull off, or whatever happens. I am not the best skill shot guy, but I can pull off some badass skill shots. With your skill shot, if they don't notice you're there, you can probably just land it on them easily, wherever they're standing or wherever they may be. If they're if they're running away from you, you gotta trick them into it, or you're gonna force them into it. Like, either you get this, or they get clobbered by your Pantheon teammate. Whatever it is, the lose-lose situation for them, or you force them to flash. If you're going in at people, with your ultimate, you either use your ultimate right off the bat to snare them in the spot. I mean, it has a huge ability. It has a huge range. And then you stun them. Because I've seen people like stun somebody and immediately ult. I'm like, okay, you kind of wasted like 2 seconds off your CC, potential CC you could have had. I don't know why the fuck you did that. Like, you can, you'll notice in one of mine, I flash ult and then stun them wherever they are. That gains me more time on my CC. Anyways, off to the clips. Now, this is the one I'm talking about, where I flash ult and then stun them after my ultimate ends, thus gaining myself a lot of CC and time to damage them further. The next clip is the one where the enemy, Caitlyn, is forced to either take Pantheon stun or my Q. She risks it and, guesses wrong and dies for it. Easy kill for us. Now, another interesting thing you can do with the Q that I'm pretty sure a lot of people know already is the slingshot maneuver. Besides using it to stun people, it drags you to the target. So, as it drags you to the target, you can flash midair or when you land, so you can reposition yourself for your ult or whatever. But you can also use it to escape. Like, it will drag you with it, and it's a long distance zone. Like you see here, I use it to escape an entire team gank, and I make it out alive. This is very useful in jungle encounters, so use it. Now, as I said before, my masteries are 1, 13, 16, taking the regular defensive ones on the defensive tree and up to the movement speed in the utility one. I take magic pin reds, armor yellow, magic resistance per level blues, and movement speed quints. Now, general build or whatever, I max out my E first, then my W, and then Q is the one-hit wonder. Obviously leveling up the ultimate whenever you can. In most games as a Amumu, I try to gank a lot, as much as possible. Like, gank not only me, but gank the enemy junglers. Like, just hunt him down. I was like, what is he gonna do? Go to a camp, kill it, escape with your slingshot. Not really that hard. I can't really describe anything more of Amumu except you jungle with him. He's, pretty above average on a lot of aspects, pretty crap on other ones. You can survive without your blue. Stop giving up when they take it from you. And, your purpose there in the end is to be a benefit to your team. Especially since you're a badass when it comes to team fights, pressing one button, winning the day, getting all the bitches at the end. Just survive to that point. It's not really hard. You don't need blue. Stop whining like a little you know, a moo moo.